Alright, hello everyone. I'm back, and from the title, I think you can tell I'm going to be talking about blind faith in teachers, and this is kind of like a rant and a story time all in one. And so I think where I want to start is throwing it back. Last year, I had this teacher, and it was in this class that was like a social studies kind of class about the world, but it was current events, like current social issues kind of class. And the project that really worked me up, well, this is kind of like the rant part of it. It was a project on genocide, and you had to find all these facts, and you have to prove whether your genocide that your group was assigned was or wasn't genocide. And the conclusion question that you had to answer was, is truth relative? And that's kind of something that is like a big philosophical question that is something that, it's like a question like, what is the meaning of life? One of those questions that just no one has a set answer for because it's just so open-ended. And so that's what we had to answer, is truth relative, based on what we gather to figure out if this was genocide or not. So we do all the research, and by the way, I did the whole project by myself, which is just so nice. Love it. So happy about that. That's what got me worked up in the first place. Like, great. So happy that I had to do this entire project by myself. Right. So no one did their work. It was just kind of like a crappy thing that no one did their work, and I had to do this all, and I was staying up late and wasn't getting good sleep, and it was like the end of the year, you know, so like tests were coming up. I had like 2 tests in every class, and plus I had to finish this project, and I was staying up late, and no one did their work, and it kind of just got me worked up. So anyway, we were like one of the last groups to present ours, and we went over multiple days presenting, so we were second to last. And for the conclusion question, they all concluded that their genocide that they had done was genocide, and that truth is not relative because facts, you know, can't contradict. But I feel like facts not contradicting is just one way to look at it. There's many other ways, and personally I think truth is relative, not in a hard fact kind of way saying that the sky is blue and the sky is green are both true, because that is obviously not true, but just in like a thought kind of way, like some person can think differently than somebody else, and somebody can taste raspberries a different way than somebody else can taste them, just in that kind of way that truth is relative, but not like colors and that, you know. So me doing the whole project by myself, I concluded our thing, I don't remember if it was or wasn't genocide, but I said that truth is relative, and we were the only group that said that truth is relative. And I wasn't that nervous about it because I was like, maybe this is one of those things that it's just like, it's your own point of view, and it doesn't matter what you choose because you did the project and you put the work in and you got the facts, and that's all that matters. And I didn't know that the truth is relative, like whether you say it's relative or isn't relative determined your grade. I think that kind of pissed me off that it ended up determining my grade. And so all the other groups that got truth was not relative got like an A or a B in the project, and no one really got a good grade because she was like, oh, this is a group grade, like it's your first group grade, and so I'm like gonna grade hard on it, so everyone's gonna like not get the best grade, so everyone's gonna have to revise it. So I was fine, except my group, the only group that said truth is relative, because I was the only one that did the project, we got the lowest grade in that class. That's really, really annoying. And before I even found out my grade, I had been like suspecting that the teacher would grade like this, because that's just like the type of person she is. So I was already kind of pissed from the fact that I had to do the whole project by myself, and that it was a group grade, and then nobody put in any work, and that she was grading in this way that was not fair, because it should just be on like the facts and like what kind of work you put in rather than your opinion, you know, because this was basically an opinion-based project. And it was just like something that really irked me, and I was so worked up about it, and I was texting Kayla during this whole thing like, can you believe this teacher? Anyway, end of our presentation, before we get our grade, I had assumed that like this is wrong, like I didn't like how this was being set up. And when we're presenting, she gives us feedback while we're presenting, like after each slide she would like say something about it, and it was just really annoying because I did all the slides, so it was like hurting me because I did the whole thing by myself. Anyway, so she would comment after every slide, something bad after every slide that we presented. And we got to the truth is relative part, and someone else read that, and they read that truth is relative, and they explained our explanation, my explanation. And then she comments, and she's like, well, how can truth be relative if blah 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 blah. Alright, that's fine, like she's allowed to have her opinion. So this one kid in our group who's like this big debater kid, you know those kind of people. I'm not one of those people, but I was like really mad, and this was one of those times where I talked. And so this kid was like, no, and he was like trying to defend our view because like he wanted the good grade too, and he was like going back and forth, and they were fighting. Then I would jump in once in a while to explain because she didn't understand, or maybe she was just stuck in her one mindset that truth is not relative, which is fine, like people can have different opinions, but she's a teacher and she was like stuck in her mindset that the truth is not relative wasn't even open to our thing, or rather my thing. And so they go back and forth. I jump in trying to explain once in a while. And it's the end of the period, like we have 5 minutes left after we finish presenting. We took the whole hour since we were arguing back and forth, and it was just a mess. And I go up to her at the end of the hour, explain my point of view, and I explain all the facts. I give stuff to back up my truth is relative opinion, and I'm like, so wouldn't that make truth relative? And she looks me dead in the face, straight on. She's like towering over me because she's taller. She's like, honey, truth is not relative. And I go, okay, and I turn around and walk away. Because there was no reason to fight her back. I already said my stuff. I gave her my things. I backed it up. I'm like, so doesn't that make truth relative? She doesn't say anything about my support. She doesn't say anything about that. She's like, honey, truth isn't relative. And I said, okay, and I walked out because I don't want to miss my bus, and there was no reason to fight her back. So I ended up redoing the entire thing, putting an opinion that I didn't agree with just to get the good grade based on her opinion, and it just made me so uncomfortable and made me feel like this is not how this class should have been run. And her whole thing the whole year was like, well, some people have different perspectives, and like you need to see something from one perspective, and you can have your own perspective, and that's fine, you know. But then it was just so strange how at the end of the year, this last project, this is our last grade, and I wanted to like boost my grade up, and that she just didn't let us say a perspective, and she was like, no, truth is not relative. And that's fine, you know, like you're allowed to have your opinion, but like why have it so that in order to get a good grade you have to agree with the teacher? You know what I mean? And I guess that's where the blind faith in teachers part comes in, because nobody else, when they knew that her opinion was that truth isn't relative, no one questioned it. No one went up to her and asked what, like why, you know. They were just like, okay, that's the answer, truth isn't relative, and moved on. But we just have in society how we should think that teachers are right, and 100% of the time they are right, and there's nothing you could do about it. And that's what it was in this case, and I wish it wasn't like that. And there are few teachers that are open to the idea that they are wrong. It just sucks that they can't all be like that. I don't know why I wanted to make this video, I guess to just say that your teachers aren't always right, and I'm not saying that she was wrong with her opinion that truth is not relative. I'm just saying that her way of not letting a student have their own opinion and her way of teaching wasn't the best, and that there could be another answer, you know, just like an English essay. I had to do a persuasive essay, and I knew what the teacher's opinion was, and that's fine, because I could write my own opinion, which is different than hers, and still get a good grade. And so I wrote my persuasive thing with my opinion, different than hers, keep in mind, and my friend, she wrote hers with the opinion of the teachers, and guess who got the better grade? It was her, the girl who wrote from the teacher's opinion. And the teacher even wrote on mine, good work, good this and that, good job, like good writing, but I'm not sure if I agree with your stance. And so I got the worst grade, but I mean, it's all in the past. What can you do? I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm going to learn from it with the idea that we as a society, students and everybody, do have this blind faith in teachers that I feel like is just something that shouldn't exist, and that we should be able to question teachers and still get just as good as a grade. And yeah, we should be able to have a different opinion and view of something than the teacher and still be able to get just as good as a grade because we put in the hard work and we worked for it and we found it and we problem solved and all the skills, and we used all the skills that are necessary to survive and have a good life, you know, the problem solving and the collaboration and all that. And I don't know, I guess that's all for this video. It'll be sort of short, I guess, but I know if I keep going I'm just gonna be repeating myself, and this story time / rant / philosophical blind faith in teachers thing wasn't exactly put together the best, and I kind of just like set the camera. I just started talking and I feel like I rambled a ton, but you know, that's kind of the most purest form of discussion that you can get. So I hope you enjoyed this discussion talking Tuesday with me. It was nice just letting me talk to you about something that happened to me, and it's something that I learned from living and being a part of society and school and all that, and being around people. Hopefully I can make more of these, but if this was too like deep, I guess, and maybe I'll make another lighter video next Tuesday, talking Tuesday, discussion Tuesday, whichever. And yeah, just thank you guys for watching. You can give a like if you like the story times and you liked this one, or maybe comment if you want more, or comment if there's any other issues you'd want me to talk about, because I'm open to everything. And yeah, subscribe to see more from me, and also Kayla, who will be uploading tomorrow, so you can see her videos. And then I will see you back on Thursday for my random video, which I already have planned and it's gonna be good. So see you guys on Thursday. Make sure to watch Kayla's video that's coming out up tomorrow. And yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Turn the bell on notifications. We've posted a little bit more than we had 2 days ago. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!